just out of sight. Can't face me in the light. They'll return, but I'll be stronger. Gotta want to dream again. Take me where I've never been. I wanna go there. This time I'm not scared. I'm unbreakable. It's unmistakable. No one can touch me. Nothing can stop me.
Good evening, everyone, and we welcome you back to the Bacchus Pro Gaming Series 2017 Summer Split. I'm Vulcan, and with me is Arctic. Going into our last game of today's first day, entering the fourth week. So, I gotta say, TME, I'm not surprised.
I mean, I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest, in the sense that I wasn't expecting it to be that big, a big win for TME, because I really thought that TNC was going to step up their game and put up a good fight against TME. But again, the pick and ban phase really went wrong. But of course, we'll be seeing what'll happen during game 2.
So to our viewers out there, note that we are still on our share and win promo. Like I said before, this is a promo to you guys out there enjoying the stream. Enjoy your chances that you might win yourself a mystery gift. We'll be handing out 5 mystery gifts to this promo. So how it works is that you will be seeing, that hashtag, using that hashtag, copy that, make sure you take note of it, post it on your Facebook profile, make it public, share the stream with that hashtag, and post it. That's it. Easy as that, and you might win yourself a mystery gift.
Speaking of wins, of course, we do have another contest. That is the PGS Digital Art Fan Contest. All you have to do is create digital artwork that consists of 1 player per team. So we have a total of 8 teams. So choose out your favorite player. It might be the most mechanically gifted, maybe the one you're crushing on. So of course, we do have a 9,000 RP prize pool if ever you are one of the successful people to win that. Of course, for more details, visit esports.garena.ph/PGS for more details.
And now on to the schedule to see how this day has been going so far. I gotta say, pretty intense, especially when match 1 was something we were expecting. Actually, it's pretty swift, but Jengski fought back strong. That's a short recap of match 1. And on match 2, AEX, the ex-champions of Rampage 2016, sweeps the floor with 2-0. And now, on to match 3, TME, Team Manila Eagles against the TNC Pro Team, starting off with a 1-0 in TME, securing the first game.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely crazy, like you mentioned. Hopefully, we do see corrections. As looking at the standings, TME...
Oh my goodness.
I mean, they are on a roll right now, and it's already a given that they're securing the first seed. But of course, they want to establish that dominance, really go undefeated throughout the entire split.
Okay, you are guaranteed this first seed. You'll be sitting on the throne, waiting for enemy. But isn't it better when you burn it to their memory that we are someone that has 100% win rate so far, and this is a huge statement. This will drive the other enemy teams to actually fight and work for their glory on the Rampage 2017 stage.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see if that is something. Again, will TNC be able to pull out a win? I'm still, I mean, logically speaking, TME has had a ball, but considering I've been championing how I feel that TNC has one of the better roster changes, I still believe that acquiring talented players such as Hayes, High, Endless Ace, I feel like it just completes the missing component that they've been missing from the previous. But of course, we'll be seeing if that will be the case. Heading into the drafting phase.
This is what I saw in game 1. There is this, whole public. All of the teams know this. Marky on the Zaya and a Lulu combo is almost at 100% win rate. So I wonder why in first game they left that open, but this time, this entitles TME to get a first lock in the Thresh. This is something very scary. You've seen Rocks on that Thresh combo it with, let's say, I did see it once with a Zaya, which was very potent.
I'm very flabbergasted right now. But
Why,
then again,
what happened?
I mean, Well, again, then again, probably not as much. I take that back because at least they did ban this. Again, they did ban the Zac because we've been talking earlier about how they might want to go for just banning the generic OPs because there's not really. If you try to go for target bans onto TME, it's actually quite difficult because everybody, as far as I'm concerned, from what I see, from where I stand, everyone on TME I could almost consider superstar status. JLC, Coops, Trevor, Marky, Rocks.
Hands down to JLC.
Man,
The Dark JLC.
Dark
that
JLC.
has the 100% win rate. I mean, everyone right now in TME is on fire entering the summer split. They are just burning their mark all over the maps and also against TNC, saying that we are a team that can go with anything and we have the skill, the play style to really crush you. And let's see if TNC will let TME dominate them or will they fight back with another, let's say, a composition that we haven't seen so far, because we've seen Lando on a Trundle on one of these heavy split pushing champions, let's say a Renekton, worked really well, but not so well against when we're talking about JLC, the Dark JLC on TME. He's also the same style that is the same with Lando.
and what's kind of worrisome here is that, like you mentioned, like when you think of Trundle, especially with Lando, he performed really well on that during promotionals where he'd go for these heavy split pushes that forces the enemy team to respond. It's just that the problem here is that during game 1, he was forced into a more responsive role, which is why he wasn't really able to utilize that. So hopefully we do see that change with TNC. But overall, let's go ahead and review what picks they have thus far. Gragas and Trundle are going to be locked in for TNC. I gotta hand it to them. These two champions during the previous game, sure, it really resulted to a stomp during game 1, but these two champions actually perform better than the others. So why fix something that technically isn't as broken? And like I mentioned, Lando is the king of these unexpected ganks during previous games. So hopefully this is something that they could really push for during the next game. But yeah, what are the final lock-ins here?
Yeah, we're seeing a final lock-in on the TME side. The Xayah made throw again. By this time, I thought TNC would have learned their lesson, but I think, judging from this composition, they have something planned out, and I think we see it right now.
What is going on? Okay, so is it going to be the return of the Trundle support, though?
Take it in, Arctic. Take it in slowly, and let's see how this is going to play out. A support Trundle might work out, I guess, against a heavy, let's say, a movement speed oriented or position champion like Xayah. But I think Rox is going to be that. I'm not pretty interested in this matchup. I don't think this is going to be the usual bot lane we've been seeing. Will
not at all.
Will this be the one that will break TME's win streak 100%? Let's see, a Trundle support and a Lucian ADC.
Yes, and there we go. Of course, compositions are locked in for both sides. Who are you guys rooting for? Let us know in the chat whether you're watching from Facebook or YouTube. Hashtag TME win. If you want to see Manila Eagles continue their undefeated streak, or do you guys want to see TNC Pro Team not only end that streak, but put them one step closer to going into the playoffs? Hashtag TNC win.
Hashtag TME win. If you feel like Team Manila Eagles deserve this well-deserved spotlight entering the summer split as one of the most strongest team with the, I gotta say, dream team roster changes for this PGS. So I hope the viewers out there are ready, but let's see it in action. Will the bot lane Trundle support beat the winning streak breakdown? We'll see into the rift. Here we are live on the Rift. This is the last game and TNC's last chance to break TME's winning streak. 100% win rate so far for Team Manila Eagles on the blue side against TNC on the red side. Let's see how this plays out in this last match.
I love how they kind of showed both Trevor and Burst in that intro, because they're technically, if I'm not mistaken, some of the younger players in the PGS right now, and very fresh looking. So we'll just have to see if that'll be the case, though, for one of these two sides. Of course, like we did mention, will TME continue that undefeated streak, go 2-0, or will the 1-1 finally happen?
Who is the fresher one? This is a test that I'm fresher, I'm cooler, I have what it takes to make it to playoffs. This is a standoff.
Hashtag confidence right there.
Hashtag confidence and freshness. So entering the second game, obviously TNC has learned their lesson. Maybe not, slipping up that Zaya. Maybe they thought that the nerf was something enough for Marky to lose that Zaya's touch. But I don't think that's the case, seeing how Marky is one of the heavily gifted, I mean, the most gifted mechanical skill champion, player in this summer split, because every champion that Marky touches, he's like, this magic. He's like, he's doing magic. He sees a Zaya and touches that Zaya, it just boosted up in power.
Exactly. I mean,
Marky's touch.
it's like Marky's touch. Everything he touches turns to gold.
Everything
And I'm not talking about the rank. I'm talking about the actual value of gold. But yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about TME. Let's go ahead and talk about TNC though.
Yes.
Like I mentioned, TNC is one of my favorite teams going into this in terms of their roster. And it's not technically just me being biased because I have worked with both High and Hayes on La Liga Pilipinas, but with very good reason that I consider them one of the better roster changes because I was actually about to make a blog entry about this, but what I like about TNC's roster changes is the fact that if you can look at Endless Ace, he kind of allows Lando and Burst that maturity as top and jungle laners because they were pretty strong players during the previous split. But as Orthros mentioned during a previous interview, bringing in Endless Ace, it kind of showed the team that may improve pa sila. So I feel like that's why we see such a strong Lando and Burst. I feel like they're up and coming top and jungle respectively. But Hook coming in from Rocks not connecting.
I think this is one of the point where we see that melee support is really having a disadvantage. Look at that, Rocks is out to High. High gets ignited, and there's the flash out of High. He gets taken out at first blood for Team Manila Eagles.
Oh man, I mean, it's still too early to tell, but that's clearly a good start for Team Manila Eagles, kind of establishing that power. But Burst, we'll finally be seeing that surprise game.
Okay, Rox has no flash, no ignite. Here comes the Frozen Pillar. A heal burn for Rox. He's very low. Might be taken out. LSA's though flashes out, but Marky will still catch him off guard. Burst just walked inside and just walked out.
Somebody please call 911 because Marky is on fire right now. Game 1 going into Game 2 now. Double kill within the first 3 minutes of the game. That's crazy, but
Goops though visiting the top bot lane, goes for Lantern. Oh, Blast Cone, Burst, has no more flash. There's the play. Oh, can he make it away? Oh no! It'll be Goops securing it with a Dragon Strike combo.
What is going on right now? TME 3-0. I mean,
and I think you have to call 117. We are in the Philippines, so
117. There we go.
There we go.
But I mean, TNC. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed that they could really show up in this game here. But then again, 3-0. It's very definitive because we've been talking. Sure, technically speaking, if you're gonna look at it from a logical standpoint with the composition that they have, I have no doubt that they could get back into this game. But the mindset is something that is underestimated when it comes to these players. So when you're trying to get back against like Atlas was kind of saying earlier, the final boss, you kind of wanted to go into this with as much bravado, with as much positive energy as you can. But when you're in a situation when you're already 0-1, and then you already have your enemy team at a great start, 3-0, it's definitely a trick. It's definitely a predicament for TNC. So we'll just have to see. But then again, if anything, I feel like they do have a potential savior in the form of Hayes. Okay, so sure. We've been talking about how TME as a team is down, but let's go ahead and look at it from a logical standpoint here. I love the Cassiopeia pick from TNC here. That Miasma, it definitely prevents a lot of footwork that TME could work around going into clashes, because of the unique mechanic that Miasma has, where
can't use any movement space.
Exactly. But Rocks though, taking quite a bit of damage there.
Oh, he does get the play onto High. The finisher stacking, putting up nicely for Marky. Where is this Brian? It's onto Endless Ace. Marky's very low. He might be taken out. There's the lantern for the shield. High just mowing down Marky.
I was kind of worried for High there for a bit. I wasn't sure if he was going to dodge those feathers, but good fancy footwork from them. They came up the better, and despite the 100% kill participation lead coming in from Marky.
And also, when you talk about the Cassiopeia, the Miasma is something that's a novelty at this stage of the game, in my opinion, because we did see TNC run the leaking composition in the mid lane, I don't think that worked out pretty well because you're facing of a team that thrives in being a snowball, rushing, one dominant, and especially game one, it ended pretty quickly. And I don't think Hayes on that Cassiopeia will have the luxury of time. Oops, spot out burst, and then Hayes coming in. Frozen Pillar for the snow. He is trapped! Can't escape. Come on, versus Lantern. No, it'll just be the combo for him to back away.
TNC though, I gotta say, they're definitely showing signs of life. If anything, still I still have my heart invested into them as far as making a comeback in this game.
So in terms of still having a fight and life in this game, it's up to Hayes. He has the defibrillator to the bot lane. He has to say clear and just make sure High gets that lead. Because he's on illusion. If he does not get a lead, I don't think TNC's chances are going to be getting higher. But now, making his way in. Everyone's on the marquee. Landing for the reposition. Here comes the teleport play. JLC will join in the fight, but Marquee will be ending it shortly. Burst has no mana, no flash. There is a hook ready for him, but it will be Trevor for the mid lane, just choking the members of TNC. Endless Ace gets taken down by Rocks.
Oh man, and with the 6-0, it leaves so many windows of opportunity open for TME. They could go for Dragon, they could just kind of settle with that. Even though they settle with that, I mean, they have a great start. Like,
why settle when they could be a better one?
Exactly.
Never settle when you have a lead.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly the mindset that we'd have.
Go big or never go home.
Yeah, I don't think at this point, you know, there's a lot more pressure on Hayes because 0-2 across the board for jungler, AD carry, and support.
Wow, this is like bad news. Every time TNC actually starts, they're the instigators. But in the end, they become dead meat because looking at the bot lane's KDA, 204? I think that's pretty much like a message towards TNC that I guess we gotta stop trying to shut down bot lane because our mission has failed. With both Marquee and Rocks having 100% kill participation, they have more gold, more items, more damage.
Well, in all fairness to TNC, technically that's the logical thing that you should be doing. You kind of want to shut down the person you know that would be highly efficient at his champion, and that would be Marquee on Isaiah. The problem is, like you mentioned, it's go big or go home. At this case, they were trying to go big by shutting down Marquee, but it just didn't really translate to that. In fact, anything, it only gave Marquee that heavy lead, both Marquee and Rock.
That pain I felt for Endless Ace, because when you're on a melee support against a range support like a Thresh, expect that you will not do anything in the lane. Most likely you might be just dragging down High because you will be getting the XP, and looking at the level that Endless Ace has is just level 5, whereas Marquee and Rocks, they're both level 6 and High is just level 6 so far. So this could just goes to show the struggle of having a melee support against a range support.
Definitely, and with all said and done, it's such a struggle for High and Endless Ace at this point.
But
you know,
leave it to Lando on that Camille. He has the Tiamat.
Actually,
there is still that hope.
I'm glad that you brought up top lane because it was something I keep on forgetting to bring up. But yeah, if you're going to look at it, aside from Hayes, Lando is definitely potentially the hope in the prayer that TNC needs if they're able to wait this out and not suffer any more casualties. Looking at the gold difference between JLC and Lando, 54 to 84, so that's a 30 CS difference.
Here it comes. Lando does have a huge CS advantage. He does flash away from the top zone, but in the bot lane, High catches that hook, and there is the Featherstorm and call back. Oh, he flashes towards High, and that would be a kill for Marquee. And in the top lane, more of a trade-off. Lando gets taken down. That would be a kill for JLC.
Finally, we do see one kill going to TNC.
801. Oh, Trevor's very low. Hayes burned that ghost. He wanted some sweet kills, but so far, in terms of farming phase, I think that Lando and Hayes, they can still bring life to TNC's bot lane, because when you have a snowballing Cassiopeia, when it comes to, let's say, I gotta say 25-minute mark, if TME allows that, TNC will be back in the game.
Exactly, and again, like I mentioned, they just need to avoid these casualties from happening. So, hopefully, because I could say for a fact, proven and tested, Hayes has the potential to turn things around for his team.
Yikes.
He did it for La Liga Pilipinas before. We'll just have to see if he could do it for TNC as well. But so far, definitely tricky.
Gets the lantern in the nick of time, but there'll be the petrifying gaze. Hayes flashes over the wall.
This is the problem that TNC is having right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out this replay first, because this is what transpired in the top lane, if anybody was wondering.
Wow.
So it's actually a 3-man dive going in onto Lando, which made things all the more faster for them. Of course, the flash to save Coops in time from being a casualty himself. But yeah, as I was saying, the tricky part here is that imagine a scenario wherein TME didn't have as many casualties. That aggression from Hayes earlier would have easily translated to a kill. But because of the lead that TME was able to pull on TNC within the first 10 minutes of the game, it makes it all the more harder for Hayes. This is a true test. This will really push Hayes to the limit. And at the same time, again, TNC has to stop with the casualties in order to get back into this game and allow Hayes that opportunity to carry them to a 1-1.
Very early, Rod of the Ages, less than 12 minutes in, he already has that Roa. Will be stacking up pretty nicely. Whereas for the bot lane, High still behind in itemization. Marky already has his Essence Reaver. Rocks is caught up by the Ice Pillar. Coops goes in for the Demolition Standard. He is tagging in. There is the Cataclysm for the lockdown, and JLC making a teleport play.
Oh man, this is absolutely
First, touch the body slam away. Flashes over that wall for that safety. That's his sanctuary.
Yeah, Sanctuary. But there you go. I mean, sorry, that was a really far off reference. But anyways, 9-1 on the scoreboard. But you know what's interesting here is that even though that's the case, I've actually been monitoring the goal difference. It never left 2,000. So this, you could kind of owe it to the fact that across the board, TNC is actually up in CS. It could potentially be something that they could work with. Again, it all comes down to avoiding these casualties.
Yes, but I think the first blood turret will be another casualty for TNC, especially the bottom lane duo and trio will be getting the first blood bounty, giving it the last hit to Marky. That is a huge gold lead, 650. That is 2 kills.
Man, that definitely propels TNC a lot more forward. And finally, we do see them leaving that 2,000 gold lead mark into transitioning into 3,000. So I don't know, I'm absolutely speechless at this point. I was actually checking out the kill participation from both Marky and Rox, only missing out on 1. So,
Rox making a fancy play, flash in play, better engage, will stun Rox, but instead Rox will be the one carrying the mid lane.
Man, Rox, I can't help the pun, but Rox rocks on this Thresh at this point. I mean, this is another person I've found such a joy to watch on TME right now. We've been talking about how Marky's strong, we've been talking about Trevor. Rox as a support is absolutely godly, and considering that he only came back after missing out on a lot of splits, because he is a veteran actually. He only made his return only recent, but the way he's been performing rivals that of even some of the best supports in PH right now.
Wow, look at the footwork from Trevor, displacing Endless Ace, forcing out a splash. Coops goes in for the Cataclysm, a teleport will be cancelled for TNC.
This is crazy at this point. Marky just taking down this turret like a champ. So
he can do it, man. He is 305 with a CS of 111, and itemization wise, he has nothing to fear. Whereas High, he is steadily catching up, but not nearly close enough.
Not
and
at
now,
all.
the fact that TME is invading TNC space, I think this is bad news because this further delays High's itemization. He can't itemize or he can't even farm. Leave it to Hayes under Roa. It's not going to do that much work. He needs more gold. And especially Lando. The reason when the bot lane lost terribly, this also denies Lando scaling. And now Marky, under the turret, fearless, going straight for High. When the bot lane gets shut down, the top lane will follow, which is bad news for Lando. He was one of the saving graces.
Exactly. And we can't even talk about surfing.
Well.
Everybody's gone surfing.
No, Lando flashes away though. He does not want to surf, but Trevor says, let's surf! That would be a kill for Trevor, but now in the top lane, look at the calling by High is dealing not enough damage. However, Hayes will be securing the kill. Marky's stacking up those feathers. Rocks.
There we go. Finally, we see a kill going on to Hayes. Hopefully, this will propel them to slowly get back into this game, but with emphasis on slowly, because they still have a lot of groundwork to cover. But
Marky with the bait, auto burst, he's very low. That would be a Feather Storm. Marky's on a rampage. There is the explosive cast. Coops gets closer to High. JLC is there for the taunt in. JLC gets a kill.
Man, TME not giving any room for
Oh,
TNC to
Trevor.
breathe.
And this Ace is pretty much a dead man right here.
Man, this is so tricky at this point. And I'm not even sure where to peg it anymore. In terms of the drafting, this is somewhat of a step. It's a step up from TNC. But whether or not this actually translates to taking down TME, like, theoretically speaking, that's still a huge question on my mind. I mean, without a doubt, there's definitely a logic to this composition. It's just that,
When bot lane lost, everything just crumbled.
yeah, exactly.
It was a domino effect.
And the problem here is that, sure, you could have a theoretical idea as to countering certain compositions. I mean, again, they left the Galio open, and I feel like the Trundle pick is somewhat key for TNC. They definitely have some form of logic for choosing the Trundle, going up while opening the Galio at the same time. That being said, the problem here is that no matter how theoretically sound your composition is, if overall, just based off pure mechanics and macro, even right down to the micro, you're being outplayed, then there's really no way for this theoretical composition to manifest itself. And that's what TME is doing right now. They're just overwhelming TNC, that they're not allowing any room for TNC to actually really test the grounds to
Scale up back into the game. That's
Exactly.
pretty bad news. This is a classic scenario where we're seeing that things that look good, especially a fruit basket, you buy it, turns out it's just styrofoam at the bottom. So it looks full, but you just got bamboozled. So this is a scenario where TNC thought that, hey, this looks pretty good, let's take it. They used the composition, but turns out they open it, it's a styrofoam. It's not what they want, and it's actually working against them. This is how TME capitalized on that. And now Trevor going for a call-out with the Weaver's Wall, and the calling though, child in. There's the Cataclysm in. Heroes Entrance is there. Hayes is trapped between two giants of TME. A shot up for Hayes. Hayes is still breathing with the Cassiopeia. Trevor's on a rampage. Marquis though over that wall is trying his best, going on for Hayes. He feather strokes away from Percy's body slam. A double kill for Trevor.
That is a 1 for 3. Wait, a run for 2 actually. But yeah, I mean, look at Hayes though, really fighting for his team here. So again, the dream potentially still lives on for TNC, but the problem is, could they keep this up? That's still the big question on my mind here. And again, like I mentioned, Hayes has all the potential to carry his team to a victory. The problem is ultimately was the early game where they suffered so many casualties that it's proving very difficult for Hayes. Again, look at how amazing he played out the Clash Royale. Let's go ahead and check out the replay. So a Weaver's Wall disconnecting TNC. So Hayes
Look
and
at
Burst
that.
actually separated, but still look at the damage that Hayes is dealing regardless. Again, this is an unfortunate circumstance that TNC is in right now. Hayes could have potentially carried this fight here.
If he was fed enough and had the resources. But look at Marquis. Just baited again, that Gragas. This is bad news. And what happened there? Lando pushed that bot lane turret. This is the first turret TNC got in this game. Lando excels really well in split pushing, especially Hayes likes to play long game. But the fact that the bot lane just crumbled is bad news for TNC. Now JLC feeling the sting of two members of TNC.
Oh man, this is very tricky for TNC at this point. I feel like, sure, they could get pickoffs from TME going into these full 5v5s, but if they want to try to get back into this game, they really have to try to set up, like if I were in TNC shoes right now, I would set up Vision and try to find ways I could get pickoffs from TME, because still, regardless of the lead that TME has, there are still positions that they could exploit, wherein TME is kind of separated from each other. If they could do that and take down the target fast, then sure, they could capitalize on small victories. It's just that looking at the bigger picture, in general, TME is so ahead that TNC really has to bank on mishaps from TME to get back into this game.
Oh, Lando oversteps. His battery gets stunned and locked down by that flash. Here comes DLC for the heroic entrance. 4 members on the turret. Trevor for the cutoff. 3 members are just scared. I want to go home, but I can't because Trevor cut me off. Let me out of this prison. They go walk away.
Oh man, at this point, TNC again forced into a reactive position where they could only react to the offense that TME is pushing
The
right now.
Rift
And
Herald.
Rift Herald, actually, I didn't even notice Rift Herald there for a
Oh,
moment.
that's
This is gonna be big.
This is gonna be bad news for TNC.
Oh, the
here
damage.
comes that Rift Herald. Yeah, JLC goes in for that AoE taunt. That's going to be burst taken down, and also the inhibitor turret. The inhibitor is exposed. Hayes is doing his best. Pop that ghost already. Lando can't even go in. If he goes in, he goes, pops goes the weasel. Lando gets bursted down. Rock's trying to make a hook play, but I think it will be the Rift Herald trying to chip down the HP of that turret. Look at the damage being dealt by that ADC, especially marking on that Zaya. Just pure threat.
Oh man, 19-3. That is a huge difference. Transitioning into a 10,000 gold difference. This is a game that TME has all the power to finish at this point.
Everything I see right now in this game, Coops and Trevor, they are just gonna cut off TNC's escape, trap them, and make them squirm on their own terrain advantage. Especially a follow-up by JSC. That Galio is just a it's a superior lockdown, and this composition by TME is something that you have to study. I think this is a great composition
Yeah, I mean, for TME.
for TME.
For TME, yeah, there we go. Because, well, in all respect to TNC's composition, I actually like the idea in a sense, because if you're gonna look at it this way, when you're going up against a powerhouse such as TME, you want to try to strategize and think of a way to potentially outsmart them, because going at them with pure brute isn't really something I think would work, because like I mentioned, TME all across the board are very strong, so you kind of want to look at other avenues where you could outsmart them. Going with this composition, I feel like that could have worked. Again, like I mentioned, if and only if they kind of avoided the casualties that they did during the early game, because that would have granted, again, this would have granted Hayes the avenue to carry them into this game.
Yeah, if there was no sort of casualties in the bot lane, Hayes and Lando would be free to scale up comfortably, knowing that Lando actually had the CS lead against JLC, and until now, Lando has the superior gold. But this is a bad news. Burst, though, forced out of his flash. The Flay is such a powerful tool.
Oh man, at this point though, there we go.
Lantern to the rescue. JLC catches that Express.
TM at this point is trying to establish full domination over the Baron side so that they could just wait for the right time to
I
go
think
for
though Hayes is catching up in itemization. He has the Banshee's Veil. Something. Oh, now a needlessly long rod. That rod is gonna help Hayes deal lots of damage. But Rox trying to go for a fancy footwork, misses all of his skill shots, and looks pretty sad about it.
Oh man. But you know the worrying trend here is once one of the tankier members of TME, like let's say if ever Hayes does start to hurt, it could easily be remedied by an adaptive helm. So, oh, there we go. We actually have
a huge minion wave on the bot side of the map. Seeing this, TME takes that opportunity. Lando has to teleport, but where are the wards for the teleport? 0 wards, and Burst gets caught by Rox. High there to deal out damage onto Rox. Heroic enters up, the calling is gone. Now Hayes from the backside trying to go in, but Marky's on the front line. He has the taunt, the 3-man taunt by GLC, and a knockup lockdown onto Endless Ace. Forced to back away. The Ice Peeler for the slow helps them escape from TME's grasp.
Oh.
But Lando has other plans, shutting down Coops. But I think with one member down on each side, TME still has that advantage because they're fully stacked up. Endless Ace gets cut off guard, forced out of his flash. Trevor cuts him off again.
Man, TNC just really forced to back away into defending what
Oh,
they
on the
can.
bot side though, the minion wave is just huge. That's going to be back trouble. Now TME pressuring TNC, and I think TME is still performing phenomenal in the Summer Split 2017. Like entering the Summer Split, the roster changes that TME had, I think was a godsend for TME, because judging how they've been performing in the Summer Split, 100% win rate,
Man,
this is not even a joke anymore. This is not even funny for any team. This is like TME's glorious moment right now, and possibly the last clash for TNC. Burst backs away. Hayes is dealing so much damage, but Marky returns the favor, and then Ace is going on to Marky. Marky gets knocked up by the Ice Pillar, but it'll be Trevor cutting them off, and that would be almost game set. Look at that minion wave in the bot side.
and Again,
You
I
look
just
sad,
have to
Arctic. You look
I just have to
sad.
breathe a huge sigh of I don't know what it is, man. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm a bit sad in the
Oh,
sense because I really had
goodness.
high expectations of TNC, to be honest. I was really expecting an even out game. But then again, you gotta hand it to TME. There is no complacency at all.
Yes.
If anything, the undefeated streak that they have right now only strengthens their resolve to become the best team in the Philippines. And to be honest, they're really proving me correct right now that they could very well be dubbed just that.
Yes, entering the summer split, everything is new. Roster changes. This is a PGS split that we are entering. Think of it as something, everyone is a fresh slate. Everyone does not have the same playstyle they had before. Roster changes just tip the balance of the scale. So actually onto TME's favor.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, again, this isn't just a message to just TNC, but all the teams in the PGS split right now, that they have a lot of homework to do if they want to keep up with TME. But look like
I don't think homework is the right word. They need to do their thesis onto TME. Look at that engage by Lando. Very aggressive, trying to zone out the members of TNE, but JLC will be taking him that high though. Look at the damage he is taking in from Marky.
Yeah,
That crit though, wow.
this
How
might be the
as
final
hell.
stand.
So I hope that it's not the homework. Homework is not the right word. Make a thesis, make a project. Go OJT onto TME to know how they are doing it with a 100% win rate so far. Last touch coming in. High gets zoned out by Trevor's Weaver's wall. Hayes gets knocked out by the Cataclysm. Endless Ace is trapped between the wall. JLC goes in for the kill and Marky goes in for another shutdown. The Nexus turret is taken out. The Nexus is exposed. TME still has this monumental win rate of 100%.
Man, oh man, that is the game. Hashtag TME win.
Hashtag TME win with looking at the score 24-5. Pure dominance coming from TME.
I'm absolutely flabbergasted at this point. Never have I seen, probably the last time I've seen a team be this dominant is during IPT's own undefeated streak days.
Oh.
But clearly the tables have turned. It is now their sister team that is in the spotlight. I'm just overwhelmed right now, man.
I'm
That
pretty
was
much
crazy.
excited for TME. This is the top team in the PGS from the top 8 teams all over the Philippines. TME rose up. I am excited. If ever they do make it to the GPL, they crush the competition in the finals. We'll just have to see if TME will still have that momentum. But leave it to veteran teams like Mineski, IPT, or AEX to do their homework, thesis, and OJT to study TME's strategy and potentially take that away from TME. All is not lost. Everyone, especially the top 3 teams, actually the big titans, Mineski, IPT, AEX, they still got what it takes to represent Philippines.
But again, of course, once again, congratulations, Team NL Eagles. That was astounding. And looking at the standings right now, it really sets things into perspective right now. And like we mentioned, it's almost still anyone's game going into the playoffs right now.
So guys, these are the standings. TME, 18 points, while the second one, it would be just 9 points, half of the scores. But to give you guys a brief idea on how TME is feeling so far to end this first day of the 4th week, let's hear it from TME themselves. Take it away, Atlas.
Of course, good evening, Summoners. We're here for an interview with TME Rocks, one of the big playmakers from the earlier match. And we have a few questions for this guy. Of course, Rocks. Sa dalawang games ngayon laban sa TNC, sobrang clean, sobrang linis. Why do you think na sobrang dominating ng games nyo laban sa TNC?
Dahil siguro sa kalamangan nilang sa practice. Kasi unlike other teams, wala naman akong idea kung paano sila mag-practice. Pero nag-show naman na kami, nagpa-practice kami araw-araw as long as ginagawa namin lahat ng mga kaya namin para maka-attend ng practice everyday.
So yun, practice lang. Tapos yung micro-macro communication, ganun. Okay. What about 12-0 na kayo? Ano yung feeling na hanggang ngayon sa summer split, undefeated pa rin kayo?
Parang nasa panaginip ako. Hanggang ngayon, di pa rin nagigising.
Oo nga. So, coming to that, so feeling mo nasa panaginip ka. Sa tingin mo, gusto mo ba ituloy yung panaginip na to hanggang sa matapos yung summer split?
Gusto ko matuloy ito hanggang matapos yung summer split.
Ano yung gagawin ng TME para mag-prepare para hindi sila magkaroon ng kahit isang talo hanggang matapos yung summer split?
Tuloy lang namin ginagawa namin at i-improve namin yung pag-practice namin lalo. At siguro matutupad yung panaginip na to na hindi matapos.
Of course, sa summer split na to, so far, 15 points coming into 18 points na. So wala nang chance yung ibang team para makakuha ng first seed mula sa inyo. So sure na kayo maghihintay sa finals. Which team, aling team yung gusto nyong makakaharap sa finals?
Wala akong ma-name drop na team actually. Ang sa tingin ko lang kung sino yung deserving na mananalo sa playoffs yung gusto kong makalaban. Yung gusto namin makalaban ng team.
So of course, whether it be IPT, AEX, or any of the other teams in PGS, Rox wants to face the strongest team other than his own. So of course, that was our interview with the TME Rox. Thank you, all of you, for watching our PGS for today. We'll be having more action for tomorrow and next week, so just stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow.
Rox is held up an Ice Pillar. Phillips goes in for the Demacian Standard. He is tagging in. There is the Cataclysm for the lockdown, and JLC making it help us play. At first, that's the body step away. Tracking through that wall. Skyber goes for a call out with the Weaver's Wall, and the Culling though. Tap in. There's the Cataclysm in. Heroes Anchors is there. Hayes is trapped between two giants of TME. A shot up for Hayes. Hayes is still breathing with the Cassiopeia. Trevor's on a rampage. Marky is though over that wall. Is trying his best. Going on for Hayes. He strokes away from Burst's body slap. A double kill for Trevor.
That is
A glorious moment right now, and possibly the last clash for TNC. Burst backs away. Hayes is dealing so much damage, but Marky returns the favor, and it's Ace going on to Marky. Marky gets knocked up with an Ice Pillar, but it is Trevor cutting them off. And that's how they are doing it with a 100% win rate so far. Last shot coming in. High gets thrown up by Trevor's Weaver's Wall. Hayes gets knocked up by the Cataclysm. And as Ace is trapped between the walls, JLC goes in for the kill, and Marky goes in for another shutdown. The Nexus turret is taken out. The Nexus is exposed. TME still has this monumental win rate of 100%.
And that is hashtag TME.
Hashtag TME win with